It's always devastating for anyone to be murdered, period. But when two infants are murdered with their mother on an attempt robbery or a violent crime, it drew everyone's attention across the nation. I received some information that Ronald Davis had a big part to play in this, actually, that Ronald Davis did this crime. I let her know that her son was wanted for questioning by police and that a lot of people were out to hurt him in this city. And that if she got me to her son, then I would see that he got to headquarters safely. And Lionel Rush told her, well, if you have William Benjamin there, he will follow up on what he said he'll do. About 3 hours later, Elder Lionel Rush calls me up and says, come back to her apartment, get here now, come quickly. He's trying to climb out the window. I have Ronald here. And I remember running red lights and sirens through the city to get back to that apartment. At least 30 people were inside this one-bedroom apartment, and church service literally was being held in the bedroom. And I believe that they baptized him while I was there. They took him in the bathroom. I went to the mother and I said, ma'am, it's time for me to take your son. And she said, okay, that's fine. She went to her son and she hugged her son and said, I did everything I could for you guys, and you do this to me. And she let her arms go. And then I called him over and said, Ronald, come with me. I said, I'm not going to cuff you. I want you to walk outside with me like a man and get in my car. If you don't, and if you make me work, I will kill you today and get a medal tomorrow. Chief Tally Sanders literally controlled Michigan Street and had officers turn Michigan Street, which was one-way west, into one-way east. And I drove one-way east down Michigan all the way to the backside or the west side of police headquarters and went in the opposite way because Chief Tally Sanders had alerted me that media had already gotten the information that I was bringing him in. I brought Ronald Davis in. The prosecutor was there. I believe Sheriff Anderson was there. Even Tally Sanders was there. Chief Spears was there, along with a lot of detectives. And they clapped. They clapped as I brought him in, and I turned him over to Detective Tom Lynn and Detective Jeff Wager. When being questioned by Wagers and Lynn, he chose not to be truthful or answer questions properly. I had my cell phone on me, and I called his mother in the interview room and told her that your son is not cooperating with us as he promised you and me, and would you like to speak to him? And I handed him the phone, and all I could hear was a mother chewing a son out. After she chewed him out on my cell phone, he handed the phone back to me and gave us a confession. Certainly over the years, it's in my top 3 cases that I've ever worked. It probably will always stay with me as if it happened yesterday because the way that we apprehended the shooter and what I saw immediately after those murders. I saw the death and destruction. Seeing that baby laying on the edge of that bed with a golf ball sized hole in it, lifeless, seeing the 2 mothers there, lifeless, it will always stay with me as if it was yesterday.